This show has lost all credibility. I can't believe anyone is going to listen to these two losers talk about fantasy for 40 minutes. Seriously, they're both bottom of the ladder. Bye-bye.
Yes, we're bottom of the ladder. It's a shameful affair. At least I can blame mine on injuries, sort of. I don't know what the Bard can blame it on. Welcome, Bard.
Thanks, Daphne. You're still making it work on school holidays, mate.
I know, here I am, school holidays, podcasting from a shed in Middleton, but still bringing the fans the show. They can't miss out on our quality programming.
It's a pretty well stocked shed. Maybe you can have a look around and see if you can find something you need to fix your fantasy team in there, mate.
You just take this hammer to like everyone else's knees. We'll get on with the programming, and as usual, our first segment is
All right. Might have to put Daphne in here for continuing to make me feel bad. But no. All right. So for the Commissioner's Tribune this week, I don't know if we talked about this, but did you ever watch the Netflix show Receiver, the documentary?
I haven't watched that one. No.
Well worth a watch, right? If you've got
bear with me 1 second, sorry.
got the time, that's okay. I think I was chatting to a few of the lads on draft night about this show. It's obviously the sequel to the quarterback one they did the previous season. So basically, it follows 5 NFL, or say pass catchers, because one of them was George Kittle, who's a tight end. But it follows 5 receivers or pass catchers who are playing at elite level through the 2023 season, which was George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Davante Adams. And, it's a really good show. And those first 4 guys, you come away from the show really kind of rooting for them, super elite guys at their position, but also really humble, really hardworking. And then you've got Davante Adams, who, like, basically every minute of screen time they give to this guy, he's fucking whinging and moaning about literally everything. He hates it in Las Vegas. Every time the play calling doesn't completely revolve around him getting the ball, he's complaining and having a sook about it. In the off season, a lot of the talk was that the quarterback change in the off season was basically to try and appease him. And what do you fucking know? We're 4 weeks into the season. Like, the Raiders aren't even doing that badly. They're 2-2. Alongside the rest of their division, basically, apart from Kansas City, right? So it's by no means like time to pack it in. And old mate's already out there having a fucking sook, demanding to be traded again because things aren't going exactly his way. So Davante Adams is on trial for being a bitch, basically. I know he had lots of good years in Green Bay, but this guy is just absolutely lost it.
I think he's just trying to get traded to the Chiefs, right? Like, given the championship.
Jets, maybe. I think he'd be pretty happy to go to the Jets as well.
But the Chiefs would be a slam dunk for everyone now.
Not for the Raiders.
Obviously not for the Raiders. But yeah.
Anyway, fuck this guy. I've had enough of him. I don't want to hear from him ever again.
You've spoken. Bang the gavel.
Bang.
I was having my font here. It's going all funky. You must not have the font.
I must not have that font. Sorry, mate. Imagine this is in a really nice font, everyone.
How very disappointing. Today's Kingmaker's quote comes from the Bard himself. Something that he might have penned. Perhaps while at his daughter's sporting games that he seems to go to all the time. Fuck this show. Fuck fantasy. Fuck my meandering piece of shit team. And most of all, fuck Isaiah Likely. From now on, I'm going to stick to my real calling, coaching my kids to real-world sporting glory. The Bard, at one of his daughter's many sporting achievements.
You've picked an interesting day to put this up, right? Because I actually spent the day coaching my daughter's soccer team at a carnival, all-day carnival today, and they got fucking blistered, mate. They got absolutely smoked.
I thought they were good. I thought they won the championship. The soccer team.
The soccer team was really good this year, but in this particular competition they were playing up an age grade, and they got absolutely plastered, mate. So fortunately, I was there and was able to draw on my many years of experience from managing underperforming fantasy teams. So I was the right man for the job. But yeah, it is not going that great this season.
Were you coaching the netball team where they won the championship, or were you just there?
No, I was just there to support, mate. Anyway, yes, this is probably not that far off the mark. Moving on. Who we got? Oh, look at these clowns.
Look, we got Stu smiling high, and Tyson looks shocked to be here. Shocked to be here.
He does look shocked to be here. Who are we doing first? Oh, Tyson. This was just an absolute horror story. So he went into the 2 Monday night games with, who do you have? He had the quarterback, Will Levis, and he had the Miami defense, and I'm pretty sure he needed like 6 points to win. And, he would have been looking at that going, this is safe as houses, right? If Will Levis has a cracker, that's fine. We're sorted. Doesn't matter if the Miami defense is bad. If Will Levis has a shocker, then the Miami defense is going to rack up some interceptions and some turnovers. Easy money in the bag. He's probably already shit-talking his cousin before it's even started, right? Somehow gets the 0.1% probability of Will Levis leaving the game injured on negative points. His replacement coming in and somehow absolutely torching the hapless Miami defense, and he goes down in the grudge mats against his cousin. This is just unbelievable, and I'm here for it.
It was the hell of a story. Sorry, I've miscopied the team sheets because I don't have the Dolphins D there. But what a story, and particularly with it being against Matty Brown, the cousin that's there, like Brown Bowl or whatever they might call it. I don't know, the Brown Bowl. Absolutely devastating outcome for Tyson. He joins an entire raft of teams. I don't have the ladder in front of me, but there is like half the league, more than half the league is on 4-4.
Yeah, a lot of coin action in the league at the moment.
But well done, Matty Brown, and condolences, Tyson. And now Stu, our winner.
We're contractually obliged to talk about this, are we?
Well, you felt like Stu might not win many games, so this was his chance to get some glory.
Yeah, like we have to pop it up there for old mate, even though he's very unlikely to be watching this show due to his technological dyslexia. But yeah, well done, mate. Had a good week. Probably the first and last good week that you'll have.
Look at these scores, right? They don't look impressive. I think this just goes to show how bad my team is. And I copped 2 injured players for zeros, like Rashee Rice, who was like top 5 wide receiver overall so far this year. Like he would have put up at least a 10 or a 20. Like I could have beat him had both my guys not get freaking injured.
Why? Like maybe someone, when they go over to his house to show him how to use YouTube, can also show him how to drop players, because I don't know why Bryce Young is still on his team. I mean, even if he comes back, what are you expecting?
Yeah, like he goes away to some sort of camp and becomes a better footballer over the next 10 weeks, and then comes back.
Goes to Peyton Manning's quarterback camp.
And also Ray Davis, Jalen Warren's basically dead. Lockett's dead. The one bright spark he had was the result of Rice's injury saw a major uptick in Kelsey's use.
That is true. That's probably a positive going forward.
And the San Francisco defense is elite, but they'll play New England. Deontay Johnson's been a lot better since my man, the Red Rifle, took over as well. So it's not, could be worse. Of course, he's starting Charbonnet, and Max Walker, of course, is back now. Kenneth Walker's back now, so Charbonnet is...
Max Walker's not his team. Amazing.
No, Kenneth Walker's back, and that's ruined Charbonnet's value. A-Shane is a disaster. There isn't while Miami keeps rolling out these quarterbacks, there isn't a startable player on the Dolphins. You can't start A-Shane. You can't start Mostert. You can't start Hill. You can't start Waddle. They're unstartable.
Yep.
It's bad.
Yeah, Stu, as I said, pretty sure he's not listening, so I can say whatever I want. His team fucking sucks, and that's rich coming from you and I. Moving on.
The top comments coming in today, give me the first one. was this little saga. I was pretty annoyed by this comment from Kurt, where he rolls in and talks about my mismanagement. So I didn't apply my subs correctly. It would have won me the game. I'm like, that's how subs fucking work, Kurt. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize they got injured. Just read it. And then he goes on about how they have an out designation, and that's confusing. This has been the designation for players that leave mid-game the entire 12 years we've done fantasy. It's an out designation. Anyway, I just felt that this was half Kurt ignorance and half smug father like poking his head up for a little bit of a troll.
Yeah, I think he might have taken smug father out of the garage for a bit of a spin here.
Yeah. We go on to the next one. This was what? You was.
I can't even remember who I was talking to here.
You were talking to me because about how I'm all about trying to avoid
yeah, that's right.
And you're just never going to let Matthew Brown go in terms of this Ringo.
Not anytime soon, mate. Jeez.
The next one is about how Carter. Not only is he just dominating this season, he's just become a real wanker about it. Like it's bringing.
I don't like the new Carter factor.
It's bringing out the absolute worst in him. Let's just look at this one, right? He's just shitting on James for spending a lot of money on Juwan Jennings, which I do think was a questionable choice, but it's got nothing to do with Carter, his matchup, his team. It's got nothing to do with anything except to just roll into the comments for a random shit talk on James for wasting money on Juwan Jennings.
I actually think Juwan Jennings had a really good game.
We just got 3 TDs.
As a Brock Purdy owner, I do somewhat follow the 49ers fortunes. Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's just really he's getting really smug, Carter. He's decided to become the villain of the season.
He's the smug Carter.
Yeah. Your attempt to nope out of this whole affair with this quiz, this poll, to say should we stop doing the show because we're both a shit. You had 2 options, which were yes and yes. You got 1 vote, and it was yourself. So your attempt to nope out of this event has failed. You must continue to show up with me week in, week out and talk about this shit.
I appreciate what I assume is like the tacit support of the other 11 members of the league who abstained and therefore presumably really enjoy the show, even though we don't know what we're talking about. So shout out to the viewing audience.
Most of the commentary was, most football commentators, sport commentators don't know what the fuck they're talking about anyway, but you watch them because you enjoy them talk shit. You don't give a shit about their actual opinions. Next one. This one was a good one from Jared about me every week on the waiver wire. Good little meme template about spending the amount of money you want to get the player you want, or risk being ridiculed on the show, and then your little slow back to your $75 bid on Isaiah Likely,
which I wrote that earlier today, and then. We'll get to waivers in a minute, but I'm pretty sure a few people did exactly this.
Yeah. And then the top comment, though, it's just Kurt fully embracing the hug father, but in the most smug father way possible. Tex was worried about Jonathan Taylor's ankle sprain. His season's done, and he gets the Edward Norton meatloaf bitch tits hug.
Bobhead bitch tits. Yeah. Shout out to Tex for hitting the panic button for after losing 1 player and still being second on the ladder.
I know.
Season's done, mate. Pack it in.
Look, it's one thing for me to say my season's done. I'm 2-6, and half my team's injured. Tex. I think Tex is still in a good position. All right. And
were you happy with the comment section this week? You weren't that thrilled last week.
Yeah, it was better this week. I think people more happy about it. It was good.
All right. Good day. All right. A few people have started to throw the cash around this week, haven't they, Chris Kelly?
I'm done with Fab. Can't be fucked.
All right. Well, explain yourself.
I think that he'll do well for as ever long as Christian Watson is out. I think this is a good offense. I feel like what is actually on the waivers drying up week in, week out. Like, people have been paying big money for guys because they had a big score or and then they've not delivered. I think that's happened for a lot of people. I think you'll see people here that have been dropped that were picked up on big fabs. I think there's actually been no decent fab pickups this year. The best one was probably Andy Dalton because I'm in a 2 quarterback league. there's just been nothing. The season is weird. No one's scoring anything. Scoring's just down overall. I think Wicks will be good. And even when Watson comes back, I'll just start him and Wicks, and I hope that one of them scores some touchdowns.
Okay, counterpoint. Have you seen Dontavian Wicks play football?
No, because I watch the Packers. Is he not good? He scored a couple of touchdowns.
He's not good.
I thought people were a fan. Anyway, this is a lot of money.
Here we go. Tex really did hit that panic button, didn't he?
My concern here is that I know he's got Taylor, but Trey Sermon just isn't good at football.
That is true. Tex wasn't massively above the market here. Jared and Tice were both also willing to drop a pretty decent bundle on this. I think it makes sense for Tex to pay a little bit of a premium as he is looking to handcuff an injured guy. But boy, yeah, I mean, I paid $70 for Isaiah Likely, who we've seen be good at football. I'm not sure we've seen Trey Sermon be good at the sport of football recently. So
I don't think he's ever been good. Like I'm fairly across Trey Sermon because I drafted him high a few years back when he was a rookie at San Francisco. He was a disaster. He got traded somewhere. On the few games he got an opportunity to do carries, he did nothing. And he played like half of this game and did nothing. So I don't really have a lot of hope that he's suddenly going to become good.
When Tex watches this back and gives us his like wall of text comments, please respond and explain to us why you are hitting the panic button on your season when you are in second place.
Do you also think it's an extreme panic to drop Mark Andrews after 4 weeks?
I think I haven't seen the stats, but I think a lot of people are dropping Mark Andrews this week. He has been woeful.
He has, and I think he's actually doing a lot of run blocking and doing it very, very well. And that's part of why Baltimore haven't, got to a Super Bowl in a number of years. They expect to, so they're playing differently and they're just running it. Lamar's running it, Derrick Henry's running it, and Mark Andrews is a pretty good blocker, so he's just blocking for them. But I just feel like with the talent there, you're second in the ladder. Surely you can hold a guy like Mark Andrews. Surely. Anyway. $37 on Leggett. It seems high.
The lack of competing bids would suggest that you are correct. It is quite high. To be honest, I would probably put, like Kurt, you'll notice this is a little bit more than he put down on Wicks. Yeah. I would honestly put those guys around the same price. I just don't see it from either of them. But whatever. What else we got? Yeah, $33 on
who is this place? Tucker. That's a lot of money.
He's presumably the guy that's going to get all the reps when Devontae Adams gets the trade that he's demanding.
Yes, I see. He's also dropped Zay Flowers, which I also get. I get that one more than the Mark Andrews.
Yeah, the whole Baltimore passing offense has been really
non-existent,
and yeah, it sucks. This is an interesting one. Look, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which we're not going to make fun of his personal situation. He took time off to deal with some mental health issues. He's presumably slated to come back. I don't mind this as a speculative ad. We've seen him be good, and KC are lacking offensive weapons at the moment. So
Hunt was good though. I think Hunt's looking really good.
Yeah. Well, Johnny would certainly like you to believe that Hunt is the way forward there, but CEH is a guy with a pretty long tenure with Andy Reid, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him start to slice into the work. I think the answer is none of them. Once he comes back, it's just going to be another god awful committee with no fantasy value at all. But we'll see.
I just feel that I know CH has been there for a long time, but I don't think that Andy Reid likes him very much. He's never really been given the job.
That's fair.
And I don't know if Jared saw some secret news that said CH is going to be back really soon, and he was worried about the rest of us sawing the secret news, and that's why he chucked $25 on it. Then I get it. But if he's just saw no news, but is just speculatively planning for this, I think you can strategically get it a bit cheaper.
To be fair, $25 is the going rate for a 1 week fill-in defense in this league. I think it's fine.
And just some random nothing changes here.
Waka, waka.
I want to talk about though. I don't know how this happened, but somehow Tex had a waiver run after the waiver run, and in the meantime, Tyson was able to make a free agent move. So I don't know what's going on with Sleeper there. But didn't Tex spend a good chunk of money on Jameis Winston last week? Like $25 or something?
I'll have to check the ledger, but
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with this. I'll initiate a full commissioner's investigation and get back to you.
In terms of the thing. Yeah, you weren't ready to take some time. Tex.
Ladies and gentlemen,
4-0. Let's keep this out.
main event.
It's 4-0 on these belt matches. Let's run again. To the next one. Good hit. There we go.
Let's get ready to rumble!
My font's gone shit.
Here's a couple of guys that everyone in the league loves.
Look at these pictures. I thought I'd bring in the newcomer bun picture, change it up. The Tex has been here for so long. Now, Kurt is, of course, 4-time league champion. He has only ever held the belt 3 times for a cumulative total of 9 weeks. And the last time he held it was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think if you asked him, he would say he's not that concerned about it.
Meanwhile, Tex remains the Cummerbum leader, 27 weeks cumulative. He's currently just hit a 7-week run with it, which is his personal best. It's not the most ever, but he's 7 weeks in a row now and counting. So he's heading towards that title of most ever.
All right. The immortal battle of Josh Allen versus Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold's been really good. Got him in another league.
What a like. Every year, there's some team that just comes out of absolutely nowhere, and like it's becoming pretty obvious that it's the Vikings this year, and it fucking hurts as a NFC North enthusiast. All right, so Jonathan Taylor is in the lineup, which is interesting, and I don't know if he's currently projected to play or not.
He is. He's got some projected points there. So this was done yesterday, though. So it might have updated.
That obviously. Jerome Ford, I feel like has been pretty bad.
Also, he scores around 7, 8, 9, 10, but it's Chubb's almost back. If not,
Zay Flowers is not on Texas team anymore, so he won't be getting those 11.69 projected points.
It's a big projection.
And Jackson Smith and Jigma's been all right. Over on Kurt's side, Garrett Wilson has been one of the major early round busts of the draft. Kurt's obviously sticking with him, but I wonder for how much longer. Jamar Chase has been pretty decent, going down the lineup. Been great. Yeah. So for Tex, I feel like Kenneth Walker had a pretty good game.
He did.
Yesterday. Obviously, Cup is still a little ways off returning. Brandon Aubrey, I feel like he had a bit of a down game actually. I think he missed a 50-yarder, which was shocking for those of us that have followed the fortunes of Let's Go Brandon. Kurt, on the other hand, ask him anything about his top 10 quarterbacks that he's blundered his way into. Well done, Kurt.
It's not top 10. He says he's got number 2 and number 4.
We'll see. Sam Laporta's on bye. I'm not sure that matters.
He's not been great.
Tennessee defense on bye. Does Kurt have a defense on his roster? I don't know.
He might have just picked one up.
This is the kind of information that well-prepared podcast hosts would know. Is it prediction time? Is there a slide for the prediction?
Bench. Yes, the one was with the bench.
The bench.
It's got the Baltimore D reader all in.
Baltimore D against Cincinnati is a pretty good play.
Yeah. Texas missing Goff this week and Williams. He's dropped Andrews. He's dropped Winston now. He really has made a lot of big changes here. All right.
So, prediction time. Now, a lot's been made of the predictions that have been issued with respect to the ongoing Cummerbund matchups on this show. Phrases like, what the fuck are you doing? Why do you keep tipping against Tex? All he's done is win all season. You have no credibility. When's your show going to be cancelled? I've heard it all. And, I hear it. I take on your feedback. My absolute guarantee to all the listeners out there is Tex is going down this week. He is 100% justified in hitting the panic button because his team is about to go down in flames, and this will be the beginning of the end. The Quadfather, the 4-time champ, is going to win by at least 30 points this week.
I'm not going to pick against the champ. Trey Sermon gets 30 points and 5 touchdowns. Lock it in.
Both equally calm, rational, and level-headed predictions. All right, what is this? What segment is this? Oh, this is the ranks. Yeah, everyone loves this, I know. All right, what do we got? The rank maker. Yeah, boy.
This is not my font. Oh, no, this is horrible. I had it all formatted and everything.
Well,
Sorry, I had to
shouldn't have gone on holiday, you fucking...
No. I should have brought a second screen. All right. So what we're going to be doing for some rank making for the rest of this season is I am going to look back historically at prior seasons, who won, who lost, what the major controversies were of the season, and then determine how many asterisks it should get based on the champion has against their championship. I might pick them out randomly, but I was short on time, so I've just started with last year to give an idea of what we're talking about. I might do tiers of asterisks. I might do 1 through 11 asterisks. I'm not sure, probably 1 through 11, but we'll see how it goes. The first season we're looking at, hit the button.
Can I just ask, before we get into this, is this you committing to an 11-part ranking series?
Yes, it is.
What if it sucks?
Well, the network can have a conversation with me.
I reserve the right to cancel it if it sucks.
Okay, so the last year, Tex won. He was the 3rd in ladder and 2nd in points. And he beat me, of course, if we hit the button again. And I was first. Calm down. I was first on the ladder and 1st in points. So I feel like from a championship...
I don't have my PowerPoint license.
Sometimes the best teams don't make the Heroin Bowl, and when that happens, that gives a justification for some asterisks. I think Tex and I were objectively the best teams last year, and we came into a very, very close Heroin Bowl, so I think that gives this season a lot of credit. Now, if you look at the controversies of the season, will they weigh against the success of the ultimate winner? Number 1, a Dropgate, where I dropped a player that had played and picked someone up. Too much controversy, not because I understood how Sleeper worked. No one else did. It was a meaningless thing that caused no effect whatsoever. So meaningless. Next.
That's not. I wouldn't say it caused no effect. It gave us grounds to accuse you of cheating, which is always funny.
Sure. Bench press gate, the most controversial statement ever made on this show as to who would outbench who. It's meaningless but fun, so no big deal. The whole MB2 Ringo fiasco, I think this is the biggest chance of dragging the season down, but I can't let what happens in the Ringo shit ruin a potential championship. But it was an absolute fucking debacle. The rise and fall of the Smug Father, a bit of a story of last year where Kurt really embraced the Smug Father, which was very exciting. Got to the point where he basically told Tex he wouldn't put it past him to conspire with Cardifact and just completely cheat his way through the season, and then decided maybe he'd go on a step. Which was the non-dropping of Jalen Hurts controversy. The chat was on fire that morning. But honestly, all of this stuff just is more fun than controversy. Even the MB2 Ringo thing, as annoying as it might have been for Andy and just generally, it was actually quite funny. The whole thing is very funny. So none of that brings down the solid championship top, which means, drum roll, verdict, it is a 1 asterisk season, which is top tier. Look forward if you get 11 asterisk season on your championship, but this is a top tier season. Well done, Tex. And we got the concept.
Sorry, are you saying that this is the least controversial championship of all time?
Yes.
Well, that's fair. I mean, Tex, none of these controversies were about him, right? So
no.
Okay.
Maybe if I'd won it, it should have more asterisks because of the ad drop event.
Yeah. Last year was a fun season, I think, and I think all this stuff is quite fresh. I do wonder how well you are going to recollect all of the controversies of the previous 10 seasons that came before it.
I remember everything that's ever happened to me. I'll be there, don't
worry. Okay, cool, good segment. Let's see how long it lasts.
Okay, so this week...
is there theme music for the theme music? or
No, theme music this one. This week, so we've had Triple H, which was Kurt. We've had John Cena, which surprisingly we couldn't see him but he was watching the show live. That's a little wrestling joke there. You can't see me. Cena for Tyson, and myself was Shane McMahon's Money Song. This week, we're going for a wrestler whose song has nothing to do with their ability to wrestle, and we're applying this one to Jared because this has nothing to do with his, therefore, ability to play fantasy, because he doesn't play fantasy to play fantasy. He plays fantasy for the good times and the ladies.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks that drives the girls wild. I've got the moves that really move them. I said chill, up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I make them hot. I make them shiver. Their knees get weak whenever I'm around. They see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. I'm just a sexy boy.
What do you think of that one for Jared?
That was good. Yeah. I mean, like, we're talking about probably the only guy in the league that has the physique to actually be a pro wrestler. So I'm onto it, mate. I like it. Yeah.
He's a sexy boy.
Oh, such a good looking man.
So yeah, that's him. He's got Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kids, sexy voice theme song. Appreciate that, Jared. Tex has arrived. Also figured out how to comment on YouTube. Welcome, Tex. He's arrived just in time for it to wrap up, but you'll be able to watch the replay, and I look forward to your critiques in the chat shortly thereafter.
Always welcome the critiques.
As for next week, I understand the Bard will be unavailable, so we'll be continuing on the show, and I will have a special guest. I'm yet to ask anyone to be the special guest. I'm yet to determine who the special guest should be, so keep an eye on your inbox, so whether and maybe I'll be reaching out to you to join me on this wonderful program. Oh, maybe we should just bring Tex on the show, and he can just tee off for 40 minutes about you.
If I was going to do like an impromptu ranking or tier list of who I think you should bring on the show, Tex would be up there. I think that'd be really good content.
Tex, are you free for the show next week?
I bet he's not. I bet he's busy doing God stuff.
He's praying for the fantasy championship. He's praying for a turnaround in his season. I did that last year. I don't really believe in God or any sort of formalized religion, but I still prayed to it for that fantasy championship.
Right.
But unfortunately,
no atheists in foxholes, as they say.
Yes, and unfortunately, God did not take what I was selling and gave Tex the championship instead.
That's fair. That shows really good judgment on his part, I think.
He has God stuff on. I will find somebody. Look into your DMs. I will be reaching out. Until next week, thank you for joining us. Anything to add before we sign off?
Enjoy the rest of your holiday, Kingmaker. I hope the show goes well next week.
Will you watch live in the comments?
I will try to. As I was saying to you just before we came on air live, I'm playing against Matt Brown this week, the lowest scoring team in the league. So I can't wait for the humiliation of finding a way to lose. There was once a perpetual trophy that we used to play for. I don't know where it is or who currently holds it, but I'm not sure it matters.
He holds it because you never won it for 8 years, and then you finally won it, and he didn't deliver it up. But that's not like him. To be fair, he didn't actually lose the original Heron Bowl, but we're still going to go with those jokes. Meanwhile, Carter, just in his new Dick Carter move or whatever we're going to call him for smug factor. I don't know. He's asking how it worked out for me that I prayed to win the fantasy championship. Obviously, it didn't work out. I fucking lost. Obviously, Jesus Christ, that was the joke. Anyway, he's out of control. Maybe I should get Johnny Smuggy on Smuggy Fantasy on. I don't know what we're calling it.
The Smug Carter, surely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're much better at the names. All right. Well, we'll see you all next week. Well, Bard won't, but I will. Bye.